thinking about mutating COVID?
Well, that is not what we say to the public. No, don't tell anyone this. You probably shouldn't tell anyone. You probably shouldn't tell anyone. Okay? We're exploring, like, now, you know how the virus keeps mutating?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things we're exploring is, like, why don't we just mutate it ourselves so we could create undoubtedly develop new vaccines, right? So we have to do that. If we're going to do that, though, there's a risk of, like, as you could imagine, no one wants to be having a pharma company mutating viruses. It be, like, very controlled to make sure that this virus that you mutate doesn't create something that, like, you know, it goes everywhere.
Something crazy.
Is the way that the virus started and moving on. To be honest, like, it makes no sense if this virus.
Appearing to the detectives, and one of the detectives said he appeared as the devil himself. I mean, this guy was a real jerk.
It sounds like gain of function to me.
I don't know, it's a little bit different. I think it's different. It's like it's definitely not gain of function.
It sounds like it is. I mean, it's okay.
No, directed evolution is very different. Well, you're not supposed to do gain of function research with the viruses, like they recommend not. But you do like these like selected directional mutations to try to see if you can make it more potent.
Yeah.
So there is research ongoing about that. I don't know how that's gonna work. There not be any more outbreaks, because like Jesus Christ.
You're not even worth it.
Not worth it?
The gentleman seems to have absolutely no moral compass at all.
I think a revolving door for all government officials. It's pretty good for the industry, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's bad for everyone else in America.
Why is it bad for everybody else?
Because if the regulators who have to approve our drugs know that once they stop being regulated, they want to come work for the company, they're not going to be as hard for the company.
You know, I know the scriptures say, judge not lest ye be judged, but you know, I'm just going to come out and say it. This guy's a real jerk.
It's the quality of individuals within Pfizer that are making these huge decisions that risk global public health. It's profoundly...
They're doing, I guess, to optimize, you know, the vaccines now.
Oh, we actually had a meeting about that today, so there's a lot.
Really?
They're doing, I don't know if I should say this.
Perform oral sex on me.
What?
Right here, right now. And go. You are dedicated.
Our undercover journalist asked Walker how Pfizer is handling the fact that their COVID vaccines are ineffective against virus variants. What he said is disturbing. Listen to this.
We're exploring, like, now, you know how the virus keeps mutating?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things we're exploring is, like, why don't we just mutate it ourselves so we can create undoubtedly develop new vaccines, right? So we have to do that. If we're going to do that, though, there's a risk of, like, as you could imagine, no one wants to be having a pharma company mutating viruses.
Yeah.
So we're like, do we want to do this? So that's, like, one of the things we're considering.
Okay.
Like, the future, like, maybe we can, like, create new versions of the vaccines and things like that.
Okay, so Pfizer ultimately is thinking about mutating COVID?
Well, that is not what we say to the public. No. That's why it was a thought that came up at a meeting, and we were like, why do we not? It was like, we're going to consider that with more discussions.
Okay.
That exact reaction, right? We're like, wait a minute, like, people won't like that.
Listen to Walker describe in detail just how they would conduct such a scientific experiment, first in living animals.
So the way that we're thinking about it, don't tell anyone this. You probably shouldn't tell anyone. You probably shouldn't tell anyone. Okay, bro. So the way it would work is, like, we put them in the virus in these monkeys.
Okay.
And then we successively, like, cause them to keep infecting each other.
Monkeys are loose, full of beans, sounds like to me. I let them loose. I mean, out of their cages.
We'll have serial samples from them, and then the ones that are more infectious, like the virus, we'll put them in another monkey and just constantly actively mutate it. That's one way. Or you can even do, like, directed, like...
Monkeys are loose, full of beans, sounds like to me. I let them loose. I mean, out of their cages.
over time. So then you can see the mutation, and you can kind of force it to mutate in a certain way you want. But you have to be like very controlled to make sure that this virus that you mutate doesn't create something that, like, goes everywhere.
Something crazy.
Is the way that the virus started and moving on it. To be honest, like it makes no sense that this virus popped out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah, I know.
COVID virus experimentation on live monkeys? This is unethical, to say the least, and Walker describes those experiments as if they are ongoing and not simply a hypothetical discussion.
So, I mean, when is Pfizer going to implement the mutation of all these viruses?
I don't know. It depends on how the experiments work out. Because this is just like something that's dying, right?
It sounds like gain of function to me.
I don't know. It's a little bit different. I think it's different. It's like it's definitely not gain of function.
Sounds like it is. I mean, it's okay.
No, directed evolution is very different.
Direct evolution?
Directed evolution.
Directed evolution, okay. Well, so, I mean, is that what it is?
Maybe. Well, you're not supposed to do gain of function research with the viruses. Like, they recommend not. But you do like these like selected directional mutations to try to see if you can make more potent.
Yeah.
So there is research ongoing about that. I don't know how that's gonna work. There not be any more outbreaks to say Jesus Christ.
So, tell me more, like, what's developing with the whole, virus mutation process?
Well, they're still kind of conducting the experiments on it, but
I mean, this guy was a real jerk.
it seems like from what I've heard, they're kind of optimizing it, but it's going slow because everyone's very cautious. Like,
Right.
obviously don't want to kind of accelerate it too much.
Yeah.
But I think they're also just trying to do it as an exploratory thing because you obviously don't want to advertise that you're trying to figure out future mutations.
Wait, so, did the whole virus mutation thing, like, come from your executive, Sarah?
No, that came from, like, we have, like, chief scientific officers in, like, the other divisions.
In a subsequent meeting, our undercover journalist asked if this type of gain-of-function research is already being studied at Pfizer. But no, as long as it's called directed evolution, Pfizer's in the clear.
What's the goal for Pfizer of doing that?
So probably what they want to do is, like, to try to figure out, to some extent, like, there's all these new strains of variants that just pop up. Why don't we try to, like, catch them before they pop up in nature, and we can develop a vaccine prophylactic for, like, new variants.
Yeah.
So that's why they're thinking, like, if you do it control in the lab, then we say, oh, this is an epitope. And so then if they come back.
That's perfect. Like, isn't that the best business model though? Like, just control nature before nature even happens itself, right?
Yeah, if it works.
What do you mean if it works?
Because, like, some of the times there were just mutations that pop up, right? And we're not prepared for it, like with Delta or Omicron.
Right.
And things like.
This guy's a real jerk.
What is the intention of calling the police? Could I talk to you, please, about this video? Why would you bring race into this?
Please unlock the door. Unlock the door. This is remarkable.
I know the scriptures say, judge not lest ye be judged, but I'm just going to come out and say it. This guy's a real jerk.